Hi, I'm Suzie Havemann, a County Councilor, here to give you a summary of last night's August 8th County Council meeting. We started with a proclamation declaring August as Bear Month here in Los Alamos County, with good reminders about bear safety, the availability of bear-resistant trash cans and roll carts for residents, and a reminder to not feed the bears, and to remind you about the annual Bear Festival at our Nature Center, aka Peak, on Saturday, August 26th. We then moved into the consent agenda, and just a refresher for all of you, the consent agenda includes items that are routine, procedural, and or uncontroversial, and these include decisions that don't have prior conflicts and that are familiar to County Council members. They're grouped together into a single motion for a vote on all of them all at once. Please note that any councilor can pull a consent item to the business part of our meeting for more discussion and a standalone vote. Last night's consent items included approval of the purchase of an intelligent transportation system services for our transit system, on-call service agreements for asbestos testing and abatement, the relocation of a piece of public art at Mesa Public Library, the purchase of more bear-resistant roll carts based on increasing demand, yay for that, and the appointment of Brian Watkins to the Parks and Recreation Board. We then moved on to two public hearings that were related to our Atomic City Transit System. These essentially authorized the county to proceed with grant applications with the New Mexico Department of Transportation that include a local match contribution for a new bus for enhanced mobility of seniors and individuals with disabilities, and for the overall administration, operation, and capital needs of our Atomic City Transit System. We then moved on to business, and we had three items in the business part of our agenda. The first was what's called the review of the State Infrastructure and Capital Improvement Plan. The intent of this is so that we have a strategic, well thought out list of priorities from the county that can then be utilized to leverage funding from programs with the state, federal government, and other granting entities. Our list had about 100 projects on it, and the prioritization of it was not necessarily identical to what we might deem the highest priority just for our citizens, but rather it was a combination of what's important to us, but also the most likely to receive external funding because of regional benefit. The top 5 items that were on the list that we produced last night included the Jemez Mountain Fire Protection System, which includes a new water tank and underground electric systems, Fire Station number 4, DP Road Commercial Development Infrastructure, North Mesa Low-Income Housing Infrastructure, and a Regional Transit Center. The second business item last night was about ice rink refrigeration, aka a new temporary chiller for this upcoming season. As background, our current system was installed back in 2002, and after 23 years and soaring costs to repair it, parts hard to get, etc., we experienced a lot of problems last year, including melting ice, downtime at the rink, which meant canceled skating and hockey games, unsafe conditions, etc. And then now, because there's such a high demand for so-called chillers, we're going to go with a 2-step approach to give us a solution for this upcoming season and beyond. First, we're going to install a temporary chiller this fall with completion by the end of October, which will give us reliable ice and a good skating and hockey season this winter. And this new chiller is huge. It's like 24 feet by 9 feet by 8 feet. It weighs almost a ton, maybe literally, and it will require a crane for placement down by the ice rink. So it could be kind of an exciting thing to keep an eye on. Then long-term, ideally for the 2024-25 season and beyond, we will have a new permanent refrigeration system and ice floor. A shade structure is also under consideration. The third business item was approval of conveyance of property from the Los Alamos Medical Center to Los Alamos County. It's also known as the Finch Street Extension for a consolidated Finch Street Los Alamos Medical Center driveway connection. This will involve the county receiving a parcel about 4/10 of an acre in size, and it covers mostly the eastern edge of the medical center's east side parking lot just south of Trinity Drive, in return for the county making improvements to that lot and funding a new sign to replace the current sign at the hospital, which will have to be removed to do the improvements for this connection. The purpose of this project is to improve traffic management and safety for cars, pedestrians, and cyclists, and to provide better ingress and egress into the hospital and for the new Hill Apartments south of Trinity. We then moved on to council business. This included routine updates such as the board and commission liaison reports, plus the appointment of 3 new members to the Planning and Zoning Commission. These 3 new members will be Katie Bruel, Stephanie Knockley, and Rebecca White. We were super fortunate to have 5 highly qualified and eager candidates, and we hope that those who are not appointed will apply to other boards and commissions and or reapply to Planning and Zoning's next vacancy in the future. And on that point, we encourage all of our citizens to get involved. It's a great way to have a say and make a difference in your local community. We concluded with a report from our chair that outlined the process for recruiting a new county manager. You may know that Steve Lynn, our current county manager, will be retiring next year. We're going to be following the same process that we used when he was hired, which will include the utilization of a consulting firm that specializes in local government leadership recruiting, and a committee to oversee the process will include the current chair, our prior chair, and the current vice chair of our county council. That pretty much wrapped up last night's meeting. If you have any questions, please email any of us and or look up the link to the meeting on the county website. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.